Alright, so with Anime Adventures announcing their return, it literally shook the whole tower defense community. Potentially coming back this Christmas has a lot of players on their toes. Excited for its return, and even new players that heard all the good things about Anime Adventure are also excited. They've already been on timing with taking down Anime Realms and Anime Odyssey, which is something I don't blame them for, because I wouldn't want someone else to monetize off my success for free, and especially without permission. So yeah, besides that point, I pray this video hits the algorithm, and hopefully one of the Anime Adventure developers watches this video, and this is why I said do not fumble this. And before we get into today's video, I just wanted to say thank you guys for 5,000 subscribers, and let's try to hit 6,000 subscribers by the end of this year. There's a few things I want to talk about in today's video, and I do almost have 3,000 hours on this game, so my opinion does hold weight. And before you comment I am glazing, no, I am giving one of my favorite games valid criticism and not viewing Anime Adventures with rose tinted glasses. Instead, I'll be taking them off and telling the truth. The first thing I want to talk about is player progression. Now there's a few things I want to talk about under this topic, but mainly that the player progression AA wasn't rewarded at all. Now if you're confused about that, let me just explain a little better. Basically, in AA, you know what I'm saying, you get units, you beat the game, you evolve units, you get the new meta units, you evolve them, and it's like rinse, wash, repeat. It was basically, it's kind of hard to judge this because it's a tower defense game, but I would say that the progression was just boring. You know, that's all we had. Regardless if you're free to play or pay to win, that's literally all we had to do in Anime Adventures. Now, I would love to see them to add a level milestone to the game, because other games have implemented this into their game, and the community has been really happy about that, because not only are they progressing through the game, they're also being rewarded by leveling up and getting those free rerolls, gems, etc, you know what I'm saying? And now I know how y'all get when it comes to rerolls. Don't be stingy with those rerolls, bro. Adding free rerolls to the game is not gonna hurt you guys, I promise, but don't be stingy, all right? But yeah, adding level milestones will just make it 1,000 times better, especially for the new players that are going to play Anime Adventures for the first time. If there's not a level milestone or any more ways for them to get rerolls, they're gonna complain, bro. I'm just gonna be real with you. Also, it would be nice to see an index there too as well, because I want to see how many units Anime Adventures does really have. I know this is like, I know the roster is pretty big, but even though I can't be a completionist, it's still something I just want to see, you know what I'm saying? Now, achievements will be nice, man. I feel like Anime Vanguard does a perfect job at the achievements, and they're all rewarding, you know what I'm saying? And it gives us players more of an incentive to grind story. Like with Anime Vanguards, me just being honest, I would never have touched Nightmare mode if it wasn't for the achievements that literally forced you to do it. But I was getting one reroll every stage, and then once I completed that whole act, I got 20 rerolls, an emote, and like gems just by doing that, you know what I'm saying? So adding achievements in the game will make the player progression feel a whole lot better. So yeah, that's why I think that. Now Scripts and Stray, it's time that you guys are more lenient on the free-to-play players. I know, I'm aware that you don't need unique to complete any of the content in the game, but Anime Adventures has been gone for almost a whole year, which means new things show up. There's new trends. There's new norms in these tower defense games, which is that a lot of these tower defense games are more lenient towards free-to-play players by giving them rerolls and codes, level milestones, achievements, and then you have it to where people can get them in infinite, weekly quest, or just by doing raids, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not telling you guys to give them 1,000 rerolls for them to enjoy the game, but if you guys do not capitalize on this, you guys will lose a lot of players day one. Because one, why would the new players who haven't played AA come back, go to a game that doesn't offer anything for the free-to-play players, while all these other tower defense games offer those features, you know what I'm saying? So if you guys really want to compete, you have to cater to the free-to-play players, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, Anime Adventures before the shutdown was just like a glorified casino. Only the people with money really enjoyed AA to its fullest, while the free-to-play players had content droughts. And if you know what I mean by that, say if you're one of those players that were caught up, right? Actually, no. We're gonna use Bob. Say Bob. He is a Anime Adventure enthusiast. He's caught up on every single update, and right now he's at a good state. He's evolved every unit for this update, and now he's waiting for the next update. But Bob wants to play AA still throughout this week. But Bob doesn't have any uniques. So Bob tries to do a tournament just to figure out that it is a trait tournament. So Bob knows he can't do anything. But he wants to go to Infinity Castle and see if he can hit leaderboard that way. He can't do that because he doesn't have a unique. Bob wants to go do a leaderboard run for an infinite, but realizes that he doesn't have a unique. So now Bob is sad because one, he's limited to what he can do in-game because you really can't enjoy in-game of anime adventures without having a unique. So Bob is at a content drought. Now before you comment, I am not hating on anime adventures. I'm just saying that Bob is at a content drought because he's caught up with every single thing in the game, but he can't play nothing else and he has to wait until next week to enjoy the trailer's bracket. So Bob is sad, and the only thing Bob can do is farm gems, and not everyone wants to farm gems 24/7. So I feel for Bob, and hopefully Bob can get first place in next week's tournament. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to Bob, you know? A lot of the free-to-play players had content droughts, and the free-to-play players were the ones that were excited when new updates came out because they were able to enjoy their favorite game, having more things to do. So this is why I say be more lenient on free-to-play players, man. Well, that's just one of the reasons. But yeah, it's time to move on to content. Look, man, Anime Adventures has plenty of content. Don't get me wrong, the content there it's a lot, but it's time to start adding innovative things, man. If you're here playing AA actively before the shutdown, I know I was, a lot of us can agree that the cycle they had was getting stale. Half the times I wasn't even excited for the update. Like the cycle was like story, legend stages, portals, raids, events, repeat, you know what I'm saying? No new game modes, no new PvE mechanics, it was just stale, you know what I'm saying? Just for more units. And a lot of these tower defense games are starting to add innovative things. And if you guys really want to come back and take first place or take the #1 spot, it's time to start adding that, man. And two, decrease the pacing by a lot. A lot of these players aren't going to sit there and complete one stage and wait 15 minutes per completion, you know what I'm saying? At first, I didn't know how bad that was until I played other games. And if we're not going to add 2x speed, it's time to decrease the pacing by a lot. It will just make the gameplay better overall if we're not going to add 2x speed, and also decrease the pacing in infinites as well. A lot of leaderboard players, the average leaderboard run took about 13 hours on Anime Adventures, and a lot of people don't have the liberty of being able to play the game for 13 hours. So yeah. Now for tournaments, I don't care about trade tournaments. That's just for the whales who don't have strategy or they don't know how to play the game. You know, I am throwing shade. I don't care. But if you're going to have tournaments, do it like Anime Vanguards. Have a trait list and a trait bracket at the same time, so people like Bob can still play their favorite game and not get hit with the content drought. That's all I got to say about that. Also, it would be nice for you guys to add trait list things for leaderboard players. You know, even a trait list infinite. You know what I'm saying? Like, even having a trait list infinite would be nice. I just want to see more free-to-play players get noticed, you know? And I think being on leaderboards as a traitless player would be more rewarding than a player with 8,000 uniques, you know what I'm saying? Also, before I move on to the next topic, I would say that I am not against a data wipe in Anime Adventures. Now, a lot of you guys that have deal over heaven and stuff, you guys are going to automatically disagree and be like, no, I'm not losing my stuff, man. I will drop the game. I might not be the only one, but I don't mind grinding Anime Adventures for the ground up again, you know? Just to have that nostalgia feeling. But it might be overwhelming for a first time player just jumping into AA right now. But I do remember that they did reduce the evolution requirements for a lot of units, so the new player doesn't have to grind a lot like we did to evolve one unit, and they should be able to catch up pretty fast. But it still doesn't hurt to data reset, man. I would love to be able to grind for Dio again. I know I'm coping, guys, I didn't get him, but if any of you deal with heaven owners who has like 10 Dios, you know, you can slide one my way. I'll take good care of him. I'll take real good care of him. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have like Reaper on him. You know, I'm gonna have him with SSS stats. He's gonna be decked out. You know what I'm saying? So if any of you guys want to donate Dio, you can go ahead and donate Dio to me, man. I'll gladly appreciate that. Now it's time to talk about the quality of life. AA lacked a lot of quality of lives, man, and I hope that Scripts and Stray has been keeping tabs on these other games, because a lot of these games have amazing features, because a lot of these games have amazing quality of lives that makes the gameplay better for players. And potentially we could be seeing a unit manager in Anime Adventures, which I hope, because the unit manager has become a norm in the tower defense genre. I'm praying that there's a quick start too, to where we can hit next and there's no cutscene, we're in the same spot and we're able to play the next act or the next stage. I pray they have that as well too, because then we should be able to macro. Oh, who said that? Who said that? Oh no, oh no. But other than that, man, there's nothing really wrong with Anime Adventures that I can think of. They did a lot of things right. It was a few things that they lacked in. And I want really just video, it's just me using my voice for the free-to-play players. I want the free-to-play players to enjoy anime adventures the way I did, you know? Even though I didn't have a lot of rerolls, I was able to have fun, you know? But now that these games have given us players a lot of options to get rerolls just by playing the game, this has to be ignored. So please do not fumble this. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Hey man, hey. Check those star rims out. I don't care what no one says, those star rims was the worst addition to anime adventures. You know how aggravating it was grinding the new Naruto update, wasting 4 hours of my life to grind 15 star rim minutes just for it to be 3 rerolls? You know how annoying that was? I really don't like the idea of star rims at all. But I will say this again, giving out free rerolls that aren't tradable, it's not going to decrease the value of rerolls. Nor is it going to hurt the trading value, bro. I think I just repeated myself. But please do something about those star rims. So yeah, guys, I'm sorry if this is all over the place. This was done in one take, and I can't really think of anything else on top of my head that was wrong with Anime Adventures, but only those things that actually needed to be fixed. But yeah, guys, Anime Adventures is almost back, and if you truly enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, the adventure continues.